can't punish somebody into sobriety. And I say that all the time. And I did that.
That's what we were told to do, right?
I was guilty. That's how I was raised.
I always tell people today that I think Peaks, in a way, has evolved into this thing that can heal and doesn't create more shame and more burden and more pain on our substance abusers.
Music is like a beautiful way to like find that refuge, regain that identity, put the stigma behind you, and move forward. Like, I think it's a perfect thing. Untapped, for sure.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another amazing, exciting, and heartfelt episode of Finding Peaks. I am back with my friends from KK Fearless today. You got yours truly, Chris Burns, president and founder, in the house. We've got Brooke and Melinda. So grateful to have you guys back on the show. We got board members, Katie and Len. Welcome to the show for the first time as well. I had it written down, so I'm going to look. But you were on show 45, 104, and now show 164. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Yeah, wow. Thank you.
So grateful to have you. This is a cause and a benefit that is like very near and dear to my heart. And we had done a benefit concert back in 2023, and we raised money, and we had the guitar, and subsequent things would happen from like a business perspective, and life got busy, and Peaks wasn't in a position to, I think, really give this space the depth and credit that it really, really deserved, both Krystle and Kevin specifically. And so I reconnected with you guys, and today we were able to inaugurate the space, Krystle and Kevin's Corner, for the first time at Peaks Recovery Centers. We're really thrilled. It's a nice little nook in the downstairs of the women's home. We got a beautiful memorial that you all brought in. We got a guitar, a cool drum, a piano, and I think a lot of people are going to find peace and connection in that space. And I think a lot of your mission will show up there to allow, and what I always say your mission is, and I know this isn't like verbatim, but I always say you guys create spaces so artists can paint or artists can play, you know. And so what was that like for you guys today, you know, coming back into a very much different space than we were in 10 years ago, Melinda?
Overwhelming, yeah.
And you know, be able to still keep this energy alive, keep this mission alive, keep those beautiful faces through these beautiful spaces alive. What was that like for you guys today?
Yeah, I think it was great to see the space set up. You guys did a wonderful, beautiful job honoring that space and keeping, you know, Krystle and Kevin's Corner, what we had envisioned years ago. It really is beautiful. And even seeing some of the residents there talk about what they did for that space, and hope you like what you see down there, and that kind of everything that they took into it as well. Even though, you know, we talk about this all the time, there's a lot of people, including Katie and Len, people on the board that never met Krystle and Kevin, but are here supporting them and knowing the mission, right? And just loving that. And so it's just so, it's a beautiful thing, really, to see that and their legacy still, and them still touching people's lives, you know?
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's what started it. That was the whole point. You know, to help people in recovery. That's all that's all I want. I want people to have that outlet, to be able to help them get through their recovery in a healthy space. And it's a warm space. It's beautiful. The view is unbelievable. The facility is, like I said, I feel like I'm in Vail. At some resort, you know, you're paying $500 a night to stay there, kind of thing. That's what it feels. The vibe is amazing. So I couldn't be happier with it.
Yeah, I'm so stoked with the way it turned out. And to your point, it just, it feels like the vibes are alive there. And
it is.
Yeah. As I've been talking lately about the space and about KK Fearless, and more specifically, Krystle, who I knew well, but Kevin as well, and I put them in the same boat. But what I often tell people is that what Krystle and Kevin needed was far beyond what the treatment industry could provide at that time. They were far beyond what anybody could offer. And it wasn't, they were very, very special humans. And I always tell people today that I think Peaks, in a way, has evolved into this this thing that can heal and doesn't create more shame and more burden and more pain on our substance abusers. You know, and so I always feel like I need to say that, and that Peaks aims in a way to dismiss and lift that shame, so that people like Kevin and Krystle that struggle with shame and addiction can do the work that they need to, you know.
Yeah.
So, Len, Katie, welcome to the show. These are board members. How many board members do we have?
Total, I think there's 6 or 7 of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long's the nonprofit been going?
So it originated, we did a year after Krystle's death. And so February 12th, 2018 is when we originated as a nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So shoot, man, almost a decade.
Yeah.
It's gone by fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe starting with you, Len, like what has been, I think this nonprofit is just so rad. What you all aim to do to build these musical spaces so people can paint and do their thing and feel safe in doing that is one of the coolest things. But what has it been like being on the board, Len, supporting this mission and this vision?
So far, it's been a blessing in my own life. I met Brooke at work. She's a coworker of mine. She shared her passion for what she was doing in her nonprofit, and it was contagious. It moved me. It made me want to be a part of it in any way possible. So it gives me also an avenue to express my passion for music. I never met Kevin or Krystle, but like I've told before, I kind of feel like I get to know them through her, being around her at work, seeing what she's like, and her inspiration in my own life and my recovery has had an impact on me personally, just watching how she perseveres and does what she does with her life and with this nonprofit. So the music thing's a huge thing for me. It's a refuge in my own recovery. I'm a person in long-term recovery myself. And so it just makes sense to push it into KK as much as I can. So yeah.
You play music too?
No, I don't, but I spend a lot of time discovering music. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I do when I'm not working.
That's cool.
Yeah, music's a big deal to me. Better than medicine.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play anything.
Right. And I think that's something to touch on too, is like with KK Fearless, we were also thinking about getting headphones to donate, and people can just go in and jam, right? Just listen to music, because not everyone, including me, know how to play an instrument. You know,
I don't know where they got
but
it from, but it wasn't me.
But me, Krystle, and Kevin, I mean, that's what we did. We listened to music and discovered new music all the time. And went to concerts and, you know.
Guitar Hero professionals, let me tell you.
That's so good.
I mean, professionals, yes.
Yeah. So I think just to kind of touch on that, like, you don't need to play an instrument for us to be able to help, or to work through that, through your own recovery, through your own healing. You don't need to know how to play, right?
Yeah.
It's just the beauty of listening to music itself.
Yeah. One of the things I'm most excited about this space is that, like, one of my favorite things to do is to watch artists on campus do their thing. They'll write songs that are about their stay there. They'll get together, they'll cultivate these things. And it's like, I'll sit there and I'll just watch and be moved to tears. I'm like, you cool if I watch? And now we got this space where I know that I'll just be able to just go find people, and I can just sit at that table and watch people express themselves. Cause it's so cool for me, because I'm one of these like A-type people. I'm like, I bounce off the wall and I'm very like, da, da, da. And then to watch somebody who may be a bit more introverted get behind their instrument, like that's gangster. You're just like, whoa, that's how you talk? It makes the hair on my neck stand up. It's beautiful.
Expression. It's an avenue of expression. If they can't do it another way, they could do it through music.
And that's something I was thinking of. We just went to the Guitar Center that we grew up going to yesterday. We were in that area. And I just remember, I just get flashbacks of seeing Krystle and Kevin go in there, and in the little, you know, they have a little studio where you can play the drums or the guitar, and just sitting there watching them.
Oh yeah, they're like 14, 15 years old, walk in there, grab a guitar, plug it in, they're jamming out inside there.
And they're just themselves, right?
Kevin sit down at the drums and just, you know, they taught themselves, and it was the way they healed themselves.
Was he a drummer?
They both were.
They knew how to play a lot of things.
They taught themselves drums and guitar, and then Krystle taught herself piano.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So we do have that video of her playing a song on the piano. So
just those people that could just...
they're those people. And
That's
then
so
here's
cool.
being broke.
I'm like,
Go
how do I
music.
even like move this hand?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, not coordinated
I
at
can
all.
hear it. I love it, but I can't play it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's so
Yeah.
cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah.
They were amazing people.
hmm
They were.
How about you, Katie? How long have you been on the board, and what kind of like impassions you about the project and the mission and kind of being here today?
Been on the board for a few months. I also met Brooke at work. And music's been a huge part of my recovery. Music's just been a big part of my life in general. And it's been so helpful and beneficial that, want to spread it to other people for their recovery as well. So
That's
I'm not
dope.
as talented as like just picking up and burning
I know.
strings, which
Yeah.
I wish I
Not many
could,
people
but
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
You do play the guitar though.
You do?
I'm working on that.
Yeah, she's learning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Good
more of
for
a
you.
choir person,
You sing?
not really well anymore.
It's like,
No,
they call me the
but I
song
love
of my
choir.
generation. That's really, really cool. It's inspiring to be around other artists too, even though like I don't consider myself an artist. Or maybe I do. I just have a different kind of paintbrush, and I think
You
we're all
are.
artists.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
an artist.
You know,
It's just different.
Yeah, and we're all kind of doing our painting of life and walking that thing through one day at a
Exactly.
time,
Yep.
But it's interesting, and I've told this story, I think the first time maybe I had Brooke and maybe Stephanie on, but maybe Melinda was on as well. When I got into this field, I was 22, 23 years old. I'm 40 now. So I've grown up in this thing, and I'll never forget, I couldn't wait. I was a house manager, and I ran across this kid named Kyle. This kid named Kyle had been in this program that I'd been in for like 12 months. I thought it was a 6-month program. Whatever. So I would sit down with Kyle, and I'm like a behavioral health tech or a house manager, and I'm like, it's almost 20 years ago. And I'm like, Kyle, tell me about yourself. He's like, yeah, so my dad's an orthodontist. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I said, what's your mom do? He said, mom's an orthodontist. I said, what's your cousin's, My cousin's loser. He does general dentistry, or whatever, They're all dentists or orthodontists and dentists and orthodontists and dentists and orthodontists. Successful. Everyone's successful. He hasn't told me any issues from a mental health perspective whatsoever other than affluency and success. And I said, Kyle, what are you? And he goes, I'm an artist. And in that moment, and having like fast forwarded through a 20-year career, I know exactly what I am sitting in front of. And it's been my experience over the last 18 to 20 years that a lot of times artists, they get so lost in our society, because when we look at things like, what's the test? The IQ test. There's not a lot of like, I've never taken an IQ test, but I imagine I wouldn't do well. But now they have these new IQ tests that inform like social and this artist thing and all these other components that inform, I think, some of this stuff that we're talking about. Because oftentimes artists are told, why don't you do something with your life that isn't what you love, of course, because that would be foolish, right?
Yeah, it's the measurement. What do you measure yourself against?
Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Because it usually comes from your environment. Your environment that you grow up in, your friends, you measure yourself against that. So.
Yeah, and sometimes dad's like this big CEO and you're a drummer.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah, they don't get it
Yeah,
because they're
right.
on a different plane. though.
Exactly,
They don't
yeah,
get it because
yeah.
they think differently, and
Mhm.
that's okay,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Until somebody says, you know what? I know I'm a CEO. I know I own this company. I do all this, but you do you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I love about
What's wrong with that?
Exactly. Absolutely nothing. And that's where sustainable recovery lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Be
Yeah.
okay with it.
Yeah.
I think that goes hand in hand with a person in recovery, music, someone in active recovery, they're trying to find their identity again.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, you
Get
lose
that
yourself,
innocence
right?
back.
Yeah.
Lose yourself.
You lose yourself in
Music
addiction.
is like a
and,
beautiful way to like find that refuge, regain that identity, put the stigma behind you,
Yeah.
and move forward. Like, I think it's a perfect thing. Untapped for sure in recovery.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. It's beautiful. And I really believe like sustainable recovery is like what I do, what I'm passionate about, I gotta touch every day.
Yeah.
Like it's what makes my soul sing, you know? And so what I tell artists, anybody who's coming in, like if we paint every day, whether we get paid for it or not. Like if we play every day. Like we're into this thing that makes us come alive. And if one day we're at Red Rocks, one day we're at Red Rocks, so be it. But otherwise, like I want to feel that aliveness. I want to be connected with these things. I remember I used to do this. I don't know if I've told you guys, but when I was a young entrepreneur, not a young entrepreneur, I guess I would have been a young entrepreneur, but I was working for somebody. But I was a young house manager. They used to do this thing called music therapy at this place that I worked called Decision Point Center. And it was 1 hour every Thursday. And they're like, Chris, I mean, yeah, hopefully places that are doing it give it a little bit more foundation than they did. But they're like, Chris, you do music therapy. And I was like, I'll do anything, man.
I remember you telling
Yeah, do you remember me telling me?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, okay, so I'm a music therapist. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Let's go.
Music moves my soul. You know what I'm saying? So we get in there and I'm like, oh shit, this is going bad, you know. But for the most part, it was just about us kind of getting together, vibing on the music, learning what that song may or may not have meant for the individual, understanding that, connecting with the person through that, and walking forward. And so it was this very, very cool thing that I think is just like music has this, I think the ethos of it in general is like a togetherness. It brings people together.
Music will connect.
sure.
Yeah, you can connect through music. And personally, I can tell you how old I was and where I was from the song.
That's
I do
great.
it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was 13 and we lived in Aurora
Oh my
when
God.
the song came out. I can tell you where I was. I remember all just because of the song, not because I remember. I can't remember what I did yesterday,
Yeah.
but I could
Yeah.
tell you if the certain song comes on, I
Yeah.
could tell you how old I was and
Yeah.
where I was
Yeah.
and what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of thing. So that's the connection with music. It doesn't have to be. I wasn't sitting playing the guitar.
Right.
I was listening to a song. The
At a
Go-Go's.
certain
I
time.
just heard it the other day. The Go-Go's. We got the beat. I was
Oh,
12.
really? Oh, no way. That's great.
I was 12.
That's great.
I was 12. I lived
I
in
don't know why
Aurora
like
and I
the
heard it.
Cranberries are one of those bands for me
They-
too.
yes,
Just like
see?
kind of
Yep.
string you through
And
time.
you know,
Yeah.
you hear
Yeah.
it and you go, oh my God, I remember this song and I
Yeah.
was here and this is
When
what I
the
was
music video
doing.
came out and
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I was there when their first, like, John Bon Jovi.
That's great.
The
Yeah.
first video, I'm serious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the first video.
And back
Like,
in my day,
well, you're much older than me.
yeah, right. We already talked about this, but back in my day, you would get the CD case or the tape case and you'd open it up because you'd be going to school the next day. You'd have to know the words of the songs. You didn't want to be the person
Yeah.
in 5th grade who didn't know the words to the new Melissa Etheridge album or whatever.
Sometimes they
What
have the lyrics on
Exactly.
Yeah, it all songs.
And that was so
Yeah.
disappointing.
yeah, I didn't know they had lyrics on them.
Yeah, so
They
that's how
do.
you, because my
Most
kids
of
now
them.
are like, how do you know every word to
Yeah,
this,
'cause
Dad?
you-
I'm like, because you read it back in the day.
Not
You didn't
all
just
of
listen,
them had
you read it.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
when you went from cassette tapes to CDs, it was great because the CDs, they had enough room in there to put the thing so you can unfold it and you had all the
Yeah.
lyrics. The cassette tapes didn't, and neither did vinyl. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I could go back as far as vinyl. And
Yeah,
the
now I got
albums.
vinyl now.
Oh, yeah.
I love vinyl.
Yeah, I had albums. I could tell you, my brother brought me Steve Miller Band when I was 7 years old for my birthday.
No, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I associate to it, and it's good. It's good stuff.
Yep.
You know?
I remember my dad had the Billy Ray Cyrus tape.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Achy breaky heart.
Thank you. It's so funny. Yeah.
So, yeah, I can tell you how old I was. Anybody want to know where I was?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys, your music, man, it's just, we could all connect through music forever. And I think it's cool that we're having a conversation about it. Miss Star was I've said this on the podcast, Coop knows the whole story. But since we're talking about music, so there, in the early 90s, you would pick a song, sing it out loud and get a grade from the teacher.
Oh.
And you could have partners or you could do it by yourself. Right. And I always felt like I was on the edge of cool, but never quite like
Just
cool.
not
No,
there.
just like right on the edge
Yeah.
most often
Right.
and just not in there. And so like back in the early 90s, one of the cool songs that was out was Coolio, Dangerous Minds,
Oh yeah.
Gangster's Paradise.
Yep.
Right. And
I
so
know, I can
everybody
hear
knew
it
like
playing.
you're singing that song, man, like, and you're hiding it from your parents or you're not or whatever. Like, and so I'm on the outside of cool. So my what I thought were my friends, they do the song. They didn't ask me to be a part of it.
Oh.
So I'm over here and my mom, she had just got the new Melissa Etheridge album.
Oh yeah.
that had the song on it come to my window,
Oh yeah.
right? I'm
just
third
saw
grade
her in
boy.
Baton Rouge. Oh,
You know what I
no.
mean? It's
Yeah,
hard.
no.
It's early 90s, right? There's no cameras. Like, so I go in there, I basically get booed out of there. She gives me a C minus out loud.
Oh.
No wonder the treatment really became popular like when I hit my 20s, because we were like, yeah, right. They're giving C minuses out loud by Miss Star.
Wow.
And then the guys came up with Dangerous Minds. And they got an A minus.
Oh, and they were so cool.
And they were the coolest. I'm just like, oh,
I was almost
this
there.
is devastating. Like, this is the worst.
Oh.
But I've always thought about that. But yeah, music's so valuable. Yeah, you don't want to be on the edge of cool.
Yeah, it's a testament to how powerful it really is. In active addiction, I think music's powerful for the wrong reasons sometimes. But in recovery, just as powerful. Like the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's why we would love to just push it everywhere we can. So, you know,
That's
we're figuring
great
it out,
help.
but now that we're on that side of it, push it hard.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. I remember being in early recovery. Me and my roommate, Roddy, we picked up like 1, 2, 3, 4 years together. We would play music on the thing. We'd plug our phones in and play music. We would just clean. And we would dump all our underwear out on the table and we would count them. Well, because when you're in, we didn't have very many underwear, unfortunately. So I came in with like one pair that were pretty tattered, you know, a lot of space in those things. And so I remember we're like 4 months sober, simple stuff, right? We're jamming, dude. We got the music, we got playlists, we can download music because we got phones and we got internet connection, like release creature comforts that people take for granted that we didn't have.
For sure.
And we do it, and we're like, we got 6 pairs of chonies, you know, and we're listening to our favorite band and we're in recovery. It's like, dude, I remember those times. I talk about them all the time, like simplest, most gratifying, like connected times of our lives, you know, and a lot of it had to do with music, and mopping and, you know, undies and things
I'm a
like
strong believer in it. I watched somebody that I love very much was an alcoholic for many, many years. And he got sober by putting headphones on and playing his guitar for months, weeks at a time. That's all he did when he wasn't working. And that's how he got sober, and he's still sober.
It's interesting you're saying that too, because a lot of the movement, especially for our vets who we've gotten into serving through our TRICARE TriWest contract, a lot of the movement for vets is in the psychedelic realm now. You know, kind of breaking down these walls, but a lot of it is integrated through song, through music.
Yeah. Well, isn't it in the therapeutic setting? They sit and listen to music while they're dosing.
And they'll put on the eye mask. I wear eye masks to go to sleep. I love it. But yeah, they do that as well.
And for like 4 to 6 hours, it's just like whatever comes to them through the music, right?
I'm very hopeful for that because my husband, Jason, is a Marine. And he's a Gulf War vet.
Oh, wow.
And he has a lot of PTSD and, you know, that sort of thing. And I'm really hopeful that that's something that he'll be able to get to be a part of. Because I think it'll be a lot more helpful than everything else they don't do.
Yeah. There's a lot of, we've been in the space now for over the last year. We have a military liaison. He's a 23-year vet. He's been deployed 6 times. He's on and off Fort Carson, United States Air Force Academy. We work with a tremendous amount of providers up in Denver that's serving this population. We've had Sam Peterson as well as Dr. Ron Schwinkler on the show. He's the psychologist for Denver Mind Spa up in Denver. I think, in my opinion, they're doing some of the most funky stuff for vets, combat vets. They're doing intranasal stem cell. They're getting it approved through the VA. Vets are having TBI, remission of symptoms in like 20 days.
Oh, wow.
Not only does he do the TMS that we were talking about, the transcranial magnetic, he couples it with ketamine therapy through song. Their ketamine chairs have, Dr. Ron plays the sound bowls and they have like speakers on, like boom, 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 boom.
Like the vibration.
Now it drags it through, and they have hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Like they're doing all this really, really cool stuff. So, especially for PTSD and TBI and things of that nature. So, and it's interesting because all of it's integrated through song.
Yeah.
You
know,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, I'm going to see an artist today, this guy named Protege, and I call it Protege Church. And people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I made that up. We're like, what's Protege Church? I'm like, if you just, like, especially with music, and I've learned this maybe over just the last few years when I've gotten more comfortable just kind of being who I am, which is just kind of this nutty dude. And that's okay. And it's okay to let that out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so like just being like at a concert and you're vibing on some music, it's like, hey, we're just going to be with this, man. Just let your body do what it needs to do. and shake that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And who cares? Like, it doesn't like, I don't have to look cool, any of that. We're just going to be with the vibration and do this thing. And so like music over the last few years, specifically concerts, maybe it's Red Rocks or just like taking my shoes off or just being with something. And this is like, you know, I have 18 years of sobriety in June, you know, like, and this is just like, you know, so I love it. I love that we're talking about this because I don't know that there's been something over the last few years. I didn't go to concerts before I got sober. Ever. Never. Maybe like one or two. I was busy.
It used to be exact opposite.
Yeah, so like I get to go and I'm like, oh man, it seems heavy to drink.
Usually one and the same, yeah.
Yeah, it seems really, these stairs, like I always think at Red Rocks when people are drinking, I'm like, a lot of fucking stairs to climb.
Oh, please.
I'm like, damn, man. You know?
Yeah, imagine, drunk or
especially when you got to go to the bathroom
to
at the bottom and you got to come back to the top. I'm like, dude, this is
in
hard
the
for
dark.
me.
In the dark. So.
Yeah, I'm like totally with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, it's been so cool just having you guys back on today, back in the facility, like coming full circle, which was, you know, literally a decade ago as we talked about. A lot of things have evolved for us and grown up. We kind of had a chat in the corner of, you know, some of the professionals aren't here and it's nothing about the professionals that aren't here. It's about the company and the business being able to evolve long term.
It's growth.
Yeah.
To help, you're going to have to grow and create that culture, like I said.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And our mission here still is, it's very clear. It's to save lives. Yes. And it's to disrupt the industry through quality of care. Because as we've talked about before, not only were they ahead of this industry's time, I think a lot of people need to aim to be ahead of this industry's time. If there's 13,000 treatment providers, I wouldn't send someone I hated to 12,950 of them. And Peaks wants to be one of those 50 that aims to anchor with families like yourself to walk in a true and an authentic way into healing, not lifelong suffering.
Yeah, we got to get away from, I mean, not only the stigma, which we've talked about many times, the stigma of addiction, but until you can't punish somebody into sobriety. And I say that all the time. And I did that.
That's what we were told to do, right?
I was guilty. That's how I was raised. My mom did it to my brother.
Tough love, yeah.
Yes, tough love. There, we were, you know, that generation, my generation was all about that tough love. Get up and do it. Don't be a pussy.
Well, not only that, Melinda, but like interventions like flying off the shelves when you're going through this, right? And so it's about it's interesting too, and it's sad. Because we don't do it anymore, but it really aims to bring the most vulnerable person into the room, wage every single piece of connection that they love and care about against them.
Yes.
And hope they make a good decision.
100%. And you cannot punish anybody into sobriety.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, I figured out the hard way. I lost two to it.
Yeah.
Because that's how I was raised. Was, you know, we don't do shit like this. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's not how we do things. Yeah. So get sober.
Yeah. Not only were you raised by that, the industry met you in a very vulnerable spot as a parent. Because you're raised by this generational thing, and then you're coming into an industry, it's like, you're right. Get your shit together.
That's what it was. It was like you were looked at like you were some loser because, you know, you had addiction and unfortunately, it's still like that today. Yep. But as a lot of places, as a parent, that's the biggest advice I could give a parent that has a child. Old, young, it doesn't matter. You cannot punish them sober. Yeah. You will not punish them sober. You have to try to get other people involved like this. Yeah. You have to give them that opportunity somehow. Somehow for somebody to accept them for who they are.
Yeah. I love what you're saying.
And ride it. And you have to ride it. And when one person in your family is in active addiction, everybody is. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that until you're in it. Yeah. You know, you got to get far enough away from it to look back and say, yeah, man, I fucked that up. Yeah. I should have never done that. And I do it all the time.
I love what you're saying, Melinda, because what you're talking about now is kind of the ethos of the way that we kind of walk people into recovery. And
that's what you were telling me today.
It's about, I'm actually, instead of going to wage this against you, I'm going to love you into recovery.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to inform your values so much that you're actually going to make it, you're going to pick up the phone and call. Because I'm just going to keep loving on you. And I'm going to show you how much I love you and that I'm not going anywhere. And that behavior, it's not going to fly here and you can't take my stuff and things like that. Yeah. Sure. But you are so lovable. You know what I mean? And I think somewhere and along the lines in our field, we got lazy or we picked it up or we put it down. But I think it's back to your point. It's like, my grandfather was the greatest human I ever met until I got into recovery. And his thing on kids was like, you be seen, not heard.
Exactly.
Right?
That's that generation.
That was a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
That was my guy.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And I remember Thanksgiving, man, you couldn't even hear the adult table. And then we're coming into here, and it's no wonder it's taken us so long as a field and as an environment to go, oh, addiction, not bad.
Yeah.
Hard to get enough of something that almost works.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we look at it.
It has to be looked at as a medical issue,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's not a criminal issue.
Mm-mm.
It's a medical issue. And until
Mm-hmm.
people start looking at it as a medical issue, mental health is medical.
Yep.
It's not criminal
Yep.
because you're struggling to get through the day and you steal something so you can get high.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you committed a crime,
Mm-hmm.
but what does that make you? I mean, are you really now a criminal? Well,
Right.
maybe title-wise, but everybody has to stop, especially law enforcement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of training that has to be done with mental health.
Agreed.
A lot.
Yep.
And they are doing it, and you hear talk of it, and talking to Brooke about different things that they've done in places she's worked.
Mm-hmm.
But until everybody looks at it as like, this is a health issue.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a criminal issue.
Yeah.
Just because you're an addict does not make you automatically a criminal.
Oh, for sure. And it's interesting. I love that you say that too, because everybody copes. I just happen to have a beer in my hand or whatever, and it worked.
Yeah.
But like also too, like my wife struggled with codependency. People die that way all the time from relationships. And if somebody with codependency who has this ability to put value in others more than themselves, if they've lived to 90 and a substance user lives to 90, they're in the same spot, isolated, disconnected, all alone with no friends. It just so happens that substances have this informed risk. And so people are like, it's the bad thing. Ever since Reagan was like, war on drugs, it's like, get 'em.
Nancy Reagan,
everybody's like, fuck, what, it's like, but it's not like, I used to also tune my world out to say that I would disassociate so bad that you could be chopping up a body. I've never seen a body chopped up. I've said this before, but like I would disassociate. And there's such harmful effects to that. You get on probation at 22, you can't follow the rules. Why? Well, because this behavior kept me alive at a young age and now it's killing me as an adult. Exactly. Similar to the substance thing. And so I think we got to just give our substance abusers a little bit of grace and space. And that's why the Peaks model now, we don't do substance use. We do mental health. Mentally healthy people don't cope with substances. It's not, we can't sobrietize sobriety into people. It's the inverse, right? So now it's like, let's work on our mental health. We might have some falls. We might have some scrapes, but let's aim for mentally healthy.
Yeah.
And then watch the addiction go away. Watch the shame leave. Instead of being like, what's your relapse prevention plan? How many people have you called today? How many? It's like, oh, geez, this is shitty.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And also after recovery.
Yeah, long.
You have 28 days, you've got whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what you do after that is really important too. You have, because that's
everything.
When, that's usually when we lost Kevin, was he would do great. And even Krystle did a couple times. He'd do great. And then it's like, okay, you did great. Bye.
Right.
Bye. And then they're on the street and they're like, where's everybody at now? Nobody wants to talk to him because you don't want to be associated.
Right. You're talking about community.
Yeah.
And it's everything.
I know.
And it's got to be long term. And it's interesting you say that because what folks find, like Krystle and Kevin in programs like ours, is, oh, this is what it feels like to be seen, valued, and heard in community. This is excellent. So they thrive. And then they leave and they're like, oh, this is what it feels like not to be seen, valued, and heard in community. So I survive. And then we come back into a facility.
They know how. And then here we go. And it's the cycle. Here we go again.
Wow, this feels good. If we could emulate this somehow in community and have people that care, but it's almost like you can't introduce the community quick enough down the line, You
got to have a lot of resources available to people for them to turn to when they are released from jail, from recovery, whatever, they still need help. 28 days is not going to... all it does is get you sober. That's why I said it's like it's a detox. It's a 28-day detox.
Stability, best.
Exactly. And talk about what's going on and you kind of clear your head to where you can think about things a little bit clearer, and then you leave and then there's no support anymore. You're on your own.
Yeah. And not only that,
Figure
Melinda,
it out.
but you're actually more vulnerable.
Yeah.
to overdose.
You have no job.
Yeah.
You have no
Yeah.
money. Your family doesn't talk to you. Have no friends because you've screwed everybody over. But figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like a person in long-term recovery, like myself, there has to be consistency with just presence,
Yeah.
just a kind gesture. We talk about it at work a lot.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you get burnt out. I mean, it's a lot, it's hard. But if you just give someone
Mm-hmm.
just a moment, what's the big deal? Maybe that's all
Yeah.
they're going to need. And you keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
As a person in long-term recovery, that's huge for me
Yeah.
to give back to people.
It's a great
Because I'm not
point.
going to have all the answers.
Yeah.
My road to recovery is going to be different than theirs, but
Of
if I
course,
show
yeah.
up for them consistently, I might be able to get them over the hump,
Yeah.
you know, and it doesn't take much. It really doesn't.
Yeah. It feels good for you.
Yeah, that's
You're like,
to my
"Oh,
recovery
yeah."
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
That's a
Yeah.
great point.
Yeah, that's huge. And when you really spend a moment, not like, hey, how are you? Okay, great day, bye. But when you just do a moment, I call them like meaningful
Checking
moments that
in.
matter.
Yeah.
People are like, fuck, you actually cared. And it was like 8 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
thanks. You know? So finding that, I think we have a team of them at Peaks right now. It's like, that's kind of the standard since over the last year is like, hey man, we're going to show up and check it out. Every day has to be like the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because these people that are walking in are making the most courageous decision of their lives. And somewhere, somehow, some way in our field, we've lost sight of that.
Yes.
So this is the standard. If you can't meet the standards, you can't be here. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with us.
Yeah.
It's just what we got to do.
This is our mission.
And it's
This is
one
what
day
we're
at a
here for.
time. And the people that walk in the door, like we got this one moment. And these people, yeah, they're hypervigilant. They're not trusting. They're called trauma-informed people
Yep.
because they've walked through a lot.
Yeah.
And they know bullshit
Oh, yeah.
so quick.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, this is
Yeah.
whack.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, I don't know why we couldn't say it. It's like, yeah, because you weren't authentic with a human,
Exactly.
you know, in a moment where you're a fucking stranger.
Yep.
So I'm really grateful too that I could sit here with you guys a decade removed and having really grown Peaks in a way that I think is really, really valuable to the human race. You know, in the midst of a healthcare industry that's being taken over by companies that are publicly traded on the Dow Jones for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, we still got this personal touch and we're able to sit here. And I think through KK Fearless, Melinda, Brooke, your all's impact and your voices, we get to keep Krystle and Kevin alive one day at a time in a really, really tremendous way.
Yeah.
And continue to talk about this.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Yeah. And I really appreciate what Peaks has done
Yes.
through it all as well, and being a huge supporter with KK Fearless and Krystle, and having
Oh, yeah.
a photo of her and just bringing this Krystle and Kevin's Corner. I mean, you guys, it's huge,
Yeah,
and
there's
we
no
really
way we could
appreciate.
repay you for that.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money that would suffice to pay back for that.
Yeah. Well, and you're helping us carry on that legacy. You know, you have a huge part in that.
Part of
So
it, a huge part. Yeah,
Well-
you guys were a huge part of Krystle's recovery, you know?
Yeah.
And if her little brother wouldn't have passed away, she probably would still be here, right? We have to
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, grief plays a huge part in
Right.
addiction also, which is mental health. It's just one big circle.
Now we have a grief week.
Oh,
Turns
yeah,
out it's a
sure.
really big
Sure.
thing, right?
Because a lot of people use, you know, that's mental health.
Yeah.
Grief.
Yeah.
Grief will take you down.
Most people in this world are rolling over grief like it's a little speed bump. These are big things.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
It'll take you out of the game
Mm-hmm.
completely.
Well, I want you to know, and I know you know this, but Peaks is alive and well, and I am committed from this platform to continue to tell this story. And I assure you that our platform is going to continue to grow, and the story is going to get louder. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get more connected. And we're going to continue to do that one day at a time.
And we will do whatever we have to help with that. Make sure it happens. Whatever you need, whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just hope that the music space really does
Yeah.
touch people, you know,
We
and
want
make
it
an
to
impact
help.
in their
Yeah.
recovery.
Yeah. I want it to help somebody. I want someone to walk away and really think about that when they're not at the facility and still
Take
trying-
that with them. Yeah.
Exactly. And trying to and take that piece of it and hold on to that, hopefully, you know, and remember that. It's really important.
Yeah. It's what this space will do. I think I'm close to it, so I know it's going to be very, very impactful. In fact, we had a guy go through our program, and I'll kind of leave you this, just the power of music. His name was Luke, and his family was a bunch of musicians on Broadway back in New York City. He's from Manhattan.
Nice.
Been to our program a couple times, and the last time he came here, he was doing really, really well. He's up in Denver, unfortunately, lost his life, overdose. Luke, I mean, when he sang, it was so good. And so he wrote this song when he was at Peaks, and he played it, and I had a video of it. It's so good. It's like 4 minutes, and he just rips. And it's all about his thing here and recovery, and it's acoustic. So anyway, I call his dad after he passes, right? And I said, hey, I actually called his mom, and his dad called me back. And sometimes artists are very stoked to, they have a different way of expressing their emotions and things like that through, And so I have this call with him, and I said, hey, I have a video of your son. And every time I played this video, I moved. It's how I remember Luke. And so I sent it to his dad. And, 20 minutes later, he said, that's how I'm going to remember my boy. You know what I mean? And I have these moments and these memories of humans that are no longer here. And I have these very, very wonderful memories because I believe that I get to spend sometimes, unfortunately or fortunately, some of the best moments of people's lives with them.
Yeah.
Oh, you do.
And a side of their family they don't see, you get to see that side,
Yeah.
Really awesome.
So having said that, I thank you for sharing your family with me. It means a lot.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you all my beautiful people out there in podcast land. Until next time, my beautiful people.